Hello, 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 hello. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, I'm still trying to get online, and things is the first time I'm doing the multi-streaming, right? I'm using the software called Restream or something like that, right? I'm trying to get me at multi-platform, right? So okay, I'm going to test it on my phone. Just quickly see whether I can. Multi-platform, right? So okay, I'm going to test it on my phone. Ooh, yeah. I can actually hear me. That's brilliant. Oh my gosh, this is the first time I do this multi-streaming. That's brilliant. Okay, so what about okay, let me test just one more thing. Okay, so do live and live streaming and yeah, maybe I can see okay, let me just quickly check it. um, okay, and okay, join. Okay, I can. Hello, hello. There may be a little bit of lag. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, significantly lagging, but hey, at least I can I can go live and doing the streaming. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Um, yeah, and let's test it one last time as well. So let me see whether I can get the streaming and hello. Yeah, that's brilliant. And I'm going to test the texting as well. So do type a message. Hello. Okay, I'm going to see. Oh, I can get this. Yeah, I can. Brilliant. Brilliant. So I can get the multi-streaming working. That's brilliant. Yeah. Basically, I'm going to use this format as a sort of a building public project because you know because Chinese is my mother tongue, right? So I can speak Chinese and I can share with Chinese with ease. So I think that sort of reduce the pressure of me, thinking mental pressure of answering questions and talking about things. And hey, I just want to quickly try out this format while I just chill and talk with you folks and yeah, share some of my knowledge and yeah. So basically, the format will be like this. So we will go through the HSK, which is the Chinese level, okay, Chinese level, language level program, and I'm going to build all this in public, right? So basically, I will record the specific, say 10 minutes, specific period of time, and you folks can chat whatever you want in the chat room section, right? You can ask whatever question that you have about the lecture, the thing that I'm talking about, or just whatever question that we have, just leave in the chat. And after that specific recording section, I will enter a Q&A section, right? And I will check it out. I will check all this chatting while I'm recording, but unfortunately, I can't possibly do that multitasking, right? Because it's sort of like building public project. So while I'm recording, I'm actually recording this as a paid bootcamp, but I want you get instant feedback while I build this in public, so I can improve it. But of course, if you watch all this live. That's brilliant because that's a building public projects, and you can sort of enjoy the premium content for free because like you are supporting me while I'm building this. So that's the that's the plan. That's the plan, and it's the fourth stream, I think. So we will continue to move forward, push forwards, and yeah. By the way, if you're interested in this like ongoing updating bootcamp, you can check out my Udemy, right? And it's already there, and you can get the like streamlined, edited, more streamlined and more content, and yeah, for a really cheap price. I think it's like I don't know the exact price because they got like a floating price, but they got promotion all the time, so you can check it out. Yeah, so that's all, and yeah, let's continue. So previously we talked about 谢谢, right? Like thank you, and let's continue. I think we got 轻声, which means that you do not need to pronounce it. Yeah, so pretty good. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to move it here, and let's go to 课文 4, right? So yeah, by the way, I'm not going to follow 100% of HSK book. I will base on it. So the outline, the basic information is good. They follow a structured courses, but I'm going to add so much more. That's the reason for me, like a teacher here, rather than just use artificial intelligence to quickly go through everything, because you know what, that would be boring if everything just using AI. Just you might as well just talk to talk to ChatGPT or something like that, and you can quickly get things done without a lot of hassle. But yeah, but I think I can provide a little bit more than that. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. So the this is a 课文 4, right? 课文 means the text curriculum, right? So that's the 4th curriculum. But if you go to the HSK curriculum, it's the 课文 3. So yeah, I'm going to deal with that later. But things, I always add more. Maybe I'm at the 课文 I don't know 10, but in fact it's at the 课文 4 or 3 on the HSK curriculum. So that's yeah. So 课文 4 is 你叫什么名字, right? So yeah, pretty interesting one, and I am going to type it down for you. So right, so here, right. So 你 right means you, right? 你叫 right? 叫 means like that's called 叫, right? 你叫 means you called. Let's literally translate this to you call. So basically it's kind of like reversed. It's like I call you, right? 我叫你. But it's sort of in reversed. So you're asking questions. So you're asking 你叫, right? You call. I'm calling you, but I want to say you called what? Something like that. Grammatically, it's not correct, but that's the difference between the languages. Okay, so 你叫什么? Okay, let me just separate it for you because this can get a little bit tricky pretty quickly. 你 means you, right? 叫, the second is 叫. 叫 means the called, or like got like a completely different meaning. 叫 is like like yelling. That's also called 叫. Okay, 什么 means what. Okay, and then 名字. 名字 is the name. Okay, so I think I can type the pinyin version as well, but I'm going to do a little bit smart thing rather than just doing this, because I want to quickly copy and paste and automatically add this pinyin, okay, pinyin converter So hopefully I got this online converter that can just to quickly get things, because of course I can get the technically I can get the how to say that the pinyin like inputs, okay, but I prefer to use this, okay, because it's so much quicker. Okay, just to quickly copy it here. So 你叫什么名字 and then 你叫什么名字 right? Okay, so yeah, hopefully that's can cover all this pronunciation thing. Okay, and 你 means you, 叫 means called, right? So it's like asking someone how to call your name. So 你叫 you called. 什么 the m is like do not pronounce it like a no tone at all, right? 什么 so it's a 轻声 which we briefly cover that 轻声 right, like mama, right, is mother. Bob, mama, Bob, the second do not need to emphasize, so we call that 轻声, right? So 爷爷, second one do not need to emphasize that as well, so yeah, and 奶奶. Okay, so if you don't need to stress this, you can sort of feel that 什么 what 什么. Okay, I'm going to increase the volume a little bit so if folks can actually hear. I'm going to get the hello, yeah, hello, 你好, hello, Simon, welcome to the stream. Yeah, as I mentioned at the very beginning, this is like a built-in public project. So yeah, basically it's that I'm making this thing in public, and like 10 minutes or 15-minute session, I'm going to record this while streaming, and then I'm going to answer the question like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So then repeat, okay? Because this is like a bootcamp I'm doing, and I want to build in public, and yeah. So basically, you're watching a paid content that I'm making for free. Yeah. So welcome to the stream. 你好. Okay. So let's continue. So 你叫什么? So you can actually feel that the volume is good. Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm like trying to make it like, yeah, bigger the volume. Okay. 什么 the second m, it do not have that kind of stress. It's not like 什么 it's not like that. So basically you do not need to stress this, just like we just mentioned 轻声, right? Mama, Bob, 爷爷, 奶奶. You do not need to stress it. Okay? So the same goes here. 你叫什么 not going to stress it. 什么 okay? So 什么 means what? 什么 something like that. Yeah, this is actually pretty native pronunciation, but it's not going to follow the rule of 轻声, like no tongue at all, because it's like when you say you're so surprised about something, right? Like oh, do you know that one is got some superpower? You can say what, something like that. Okay, it's like what. So in Chinese it's like 什么. Yeah, it's almost the same pronunciation in English, like what, like 什么. So in this specific scenario, this 什么 is not going to pronounce 什么, but rather 什么, like you're asking something as if it's really outrageous, really surprised. Okay, so 什么. But normally, if you're like talking like a normal person, not like some comic movie, something like that, it's not going to stress, no tongue at all. 什么? Okay, excuse me. 名字 okay, there's like no tongue, but rather ming, right? And going up. And by the way, there is a G at the end, so that means that you're going to use a little bit nasal sound, right? So that's 名, right? It's not 名字. Yeah, personally, I speak like 名字, right? I'm not going to stress this because, you know, I'm from the middle parts of China, so I don't have that kind of nasal sounds. So a strange or funny facts about the Chinese is that different regional accents is a little bit different. So I live at the central parts of China, so Wuhan, by the way. So my town, my accent is kind of like a really like flat, without a lot of regional characteristics, which I think is brilliant. But if you're from the north, you actually have a lot of nasal sounds. Okay, so it's like 名字. I'm really bad at mimicking the like a northern accent, because northern accents, from my personal opinion, is that they got a lot of 后鼻音, right? 名, like 名字, right? It's like more rounded, more vowel even sounds. But I prefer to use just a hint of 名, right? But not too much, okay? Because I don't want like a mimicking. I'm like from the north, or I'm from like Beijing, something like that. I just want to talk normally, okay? So even though it should be 名字, if you just do that really like to the letter, right? Like 名 字, right? You can do that, but it's kind of weird, especially if you're not from the north, you do not have that accent, and you try to do that. That's a little bit weird. So I even sometimes pronounce something like this, but that's the wrong way of doing things. Technically, that's the wrong way, but I normally do that. 你叫什么名字啊？名字啊，名. Remember, technically I'm doing it wrong, but in normal conversation, that's good. That's good. 你叫什么名字啊？ Right? Like 这位朋友 like friends here, 你叫什么名字 Right? 名字 not 名字，这位朋友您叫什么名字 Now, and some people, especially like their native northerners, they can feel that you are pretend to be like northerner, right? You add a lot of 后鼻音, right? 鼻音, right? 名叫你叫什么名字 That would be like pretentious, arguably. But yeah, so I'm just since this is like a boot camp, I'm just to give you different variety of regional accents. Okay, so for me, 你叫什么名字？你叫什么名字啊 ？Hello, 这位朋友你好，你叫什么名字 Right? So you can actually feel that I'm not adding a lot of sound. Okay, so yeah. So quick review. I'm going to type a little bit English, so you guys can quickly get this like literal translation. Ready? So 你 that means you, right? 你我 means me, okay? 你叫 the second one is 叫 so going down 叫 so that means call, okay? So 你叫 means how to call you, okay? And 什么 remember the 什么 is not going to be remembered separately, okay? It's not like 神 I got a meaning and then 么 got a meaning, right? So 什么 is like a combination of words that got together, okay? So it's not like so for example 中国 right? It's like 中 and 国. You can separate that, right? 中 means the center or middle. Sometimes like literally translated, I've seen a lot of media actually say called China as a middle kingdom, right? So that's like a literal translation. I'm going to type it down for you folks so you can actually see what I'm doing. So for example, 中国, okay, this we can separate that, right? So 中 means the middle, means the center, right? 国 means kingdom, right? Means country. So this we can separate that, means literally means the middle kingdom, the central country, something like that. Okay, so you can make it separated. But 什么, this can't get separated, at least. Yeah, because it got separation like 神 ma don't have specific meaning. Okay, of course, if you have to look at meanings in a dictionary, you can sort of find some meanings in some traditional scripture, like traditional Chinese. You got some like a specific meaning for specific characters. But in modern days, if you like find someone like walking the street, say, hey, what's the meaning of 神? They don't know. Okay, what's the meaning of 么? They can't explain this. Okay, so but if you ask, what's the meaning of 什么? They will tell you, oh, 什么 is that like what? Okay, they will know the meaning because they learn this as a combination rather than separate words. Okay, so 什么 like what? So basically, 中国 we can like separate 中 and 国 like middle kingdom, right? But 什么 is just one one combination of characters and one word. It's like you learn this from very beginning as a one word. Okay, so it's like what? Okay, so 你叫什么 like you call what? That's like what is your name? Okay, but yeah, remember the name, we did not mention that. Name is called 名字. But normally I would just ignore this G because I'm from the middle parts of China, so 名字. But of course you can say 名字. Okay, so this you can sort of separate that because the person's 名 and the person's 字 do actually have different meanings, but I don't want to dive too deep because normally nowadays seldom people use like 字号, something like that. You might encounter this while you are reading some like traditional poetry of Chinese poetry, and some like the points we have the 名 and 字 and hao. That's just a different poetic name, but nowadays unless someone like a hermit living in the mountains and like write a lot of poetry, something like that, normally people don't use this. So you know what, that's how language like change. So basically you can separate 名 right and separate 字, but 名字 just become one word. Okay, because it's like a common expression that people use and become just a single meaning called name. Okay, so yeah, so basically let's quickly review this. 你 you, 叫 call, right? 什么 combination like expression, what 名字 name. So you call what name, okay? You can sort of understand this, right? You call what name, that's the what's your name, okay? So basically, what's your name, okay? So if you change it, you become change it like let's play around with it a little bit. Let's change the order. 什么 right? What's your name? 什么你名字 okay? So you can sort of feel the order is a little bit different, okay? So if you literally translate it, you should say what's or what is, okay? Okay, let me just change this input method a little bit. Okay, let me change it just a little bit. Okay, what's your name? Okay, it should be something like this. What's your name? So that will be 什么 and 你名字 okay? So the order is a little bit different. Like you will learn English and then you learn, say, Spanish. Okay? The order is tiny little bit different. You have to like reverse it. So that's a quirky part. But my recommendation is that learn language naturally rather than like using like grammatical feeling. Okay? So you have to remember the grammar in order to understand it. You don't need to do that. At least at the very beginning, you don't need to do that, because I prefer to learn a language as if I'm a baby. Okay, I just immerse myself in the environment and just to think. Just don't ask at the very beginning why they're doing this. Okay, why where they change the order of things. Don't worry about that. Okay. Because they are doing this and they are speaking this specific language, and then that's the rule that everyone follows. Sometimes, especially if you look at English, it's just as if you are a foreigner, as if you are alien traveling from outer space. You drop you to the States, drop you to London, and you will feel that a little bit weird. Why? Sometimes they do this, sometimes they do that. Okay, the same goes for Chinese. Okay, the same goes for any other languages. So you might feel a little bit weird, but that's how they speak, and just to follow it. Okay, so yeah, what's your name? And 你叫什么名字？名字 or 名字 but personally I just say 名字. Right, so yeah, 你叫什么名字? Okay, so that's the one section then, and I'm going to continue to the conversation part. So if you got any question, it's a good time to join the chat, and I can like do a quick 5 minutes or 10 minutes Q&A and hydrate myself. All right, so okay, I got tons of coffee today because this is like the first time I'm using this like a restream. Hi, hello, Quit Therapy. Hello, 你好. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, by the way, it's like the first time I use this like restream, I believe it's called. This is another platform that can allow me to multi-streaming, and previously I did like few stream before, and the internet connection is very very bad, and 我叫大卫 David 大卫 it's like David 大卫 okay 大卫你好 okay hello yeah 大卫 it's like yeah, because you are using pinyin, okay 大卫 okay you're using pinyin, and so I don't know how to yeah 大卫 okay so 大卫 it's like this, okay I know what you're talking, okay 大卫 is like this, okay 我的中文是马马虎虎 okay that's very good 我的中文是马马虎虎 okay you're talking like this 有中文是吗 yeah it's technically I can understand it, but you don't need to add 是 right you don't need to add 是 you can say 我的中文it's like answering a question, right? So 你的中文怎么样 how's your Chinese yeah 我的中文马马虎虎吧 oh but it's a very high level Chinese, I think, like 马马虎虎 right 我的中文马马虎虎吧 oh my gosh yeah it's pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, it's like yeah, like other people ask you how is your Chinese level, right? And then say, oh, my Chinese level 我的中文水平马马虎虎吧 but yeah 我的中文马马 yeah that's better 我的中文马马虎虎中文水平还行吧 right yeah thanks, but to be honest it's not 马马虎虎 at all, because it's a really high level words, and you surprise me. Yeah, you surprise me. Yeah, yeah. Congratulations. That's very good. Okay, so okay, let me hydrate myself because yeah. All right, so you're a great teacher. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm just getting started about sharing with folks Chinese. Yes. Yeah, I just start making this boot camp. To be honest, this is like the fourth time or fifth time I stream, and previously my internet connection is not good enough. So today is the first time I use like a restream software, and it can distribute into different channels. And I'm currently like, hey, thanks for your therapy. I'm currently like making a bootcamp on Udemy, and I yeah, because I'm also a programmer, right? I just been to Apple's WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference, in Cupertino, and I'm mainly the programmer, right? I develop games. I previously worked as an investment banker, and right now I'm like using like the technique that I used. Yeah, I have a TikTok, but I just created an account like today. Okay, so it's also called like a Learn Chinese with LiPai, right? But yeah, just getting started. So yeah, I'm so lucky, so feel fortunate that a lot of folks actually come to my stream. Previously, like all the streaming that got like no people come at all. Okay, so yeah, that's good. And basically, I want to talk a little bit about this because some folks may just join the stream. Is that in programming there is a concept called building public, right? I built multiple apps before, and because for indie developers like indie dev, it's become really hard to compete with the big companies, right? So they devise a strategy called build in public. Is that they can build a community and why develop things in public, and listen to community's feedback about what kind of thing they want to do, something like that, and then they can build a community. They can quickly react to the needs, right? Fulfill some of the issues, fix some of the issues, fill some, add some like things that they need. Okay, so this is a technique called building public, and also because I work as a developer, right? So yeah, so I think maybe I will build this like a Chinese bootcamp as well as a Japanese bootcamp in public. By the way, LiPai is also a Japanese called LiPai. If you search like Japanese bootcamp on Google, the first one is me. Okay, I also go that teach Japanese as well. We need to like so YouTube push your algorithm how to interact. Yeah. Thanks. Quick therapy. That'll be brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I also want to sort of learn from the developing method called building public. So basically, I want to build the course in public as well. So the paid courses is going to be tested and built and learn from the live stream, which I'm currently doing right now. It's like I build this in public. I can quickly build a community and get instant feedback, and then get added that into a premium thing. So basically, you are watching the premium things for free right now. So yeah, let me just continue. All right, so just means the colon 4. Okay, let me. Okay, then let's continue. Okay, 你叫什么名字? And then, what about the answer, right? 你叫什么名字? What's your name? And then you can have the answer. Say, my name is. Okay, so let's just change it. Right. So, my name is someone, right? Then say your name. So 我叫 and then like LiPai. Okay, this is my name. It's actually not a Chinese word. It's actually a Japanese word called LiPai. right? It's like LiPai na hito. Okay, that's literally my name. So yeah, so LiPai, but a lot of characters in China as well and in Japan is like shared it because lots of kanji, right? Kanji is like Hanzi. By the way, if you read it in Japanese, it's called kanji. It's actually borrowed from the ancient China. Okay, so but they change a little bit, and a lot of it's like traditional Chinese. So if you reading some like Japanese, you can see a lot of like hiragana, katakana, as well as kanji. Right, the kanji is actually Chinese Hanzi, right? Borrowed from traditional Asian China. Okay, so basically, the LiPai is like LiPai is also a Japanese word, so a lot of things that share in common. Okay, so yeah, so of course, you if your name is Da Wei, right? It's like a phonic translation, right? So a lot of Chinese words actually is the phonic translation of the imported words, and a lot of language actually do that. So, for example, if there are some like Spanish words and English also borrow that, like French also borrow that, something like that. Okay, so if David is like a English pronunciation, and then there will be like just to find similar kanji, similar characters, right? Yeah, so yeah, they borrow that, and then Da Wei, David, something similar, but not exactly the same. The same goes for Japanese, right? So, for example, Hanzi, right? And then Japanese say kanji, right? So, because it's like borrowed from Asian China, the pronunciation may be a little bit different. So, for example, like a door, and in Japan they call door, right? So they use the katakana to represent that. So, especially if it's imported words, they will use like katakana to represent. So that's the reason why some folks say that Japanese English is a little bit weird, because they just use katakana to represent, and they do not like curve the tongue, so it become really like door, World Financial Center, something like that. So it's like pretty weird. Yeah, the same goes for the Chinese as well. So like 我叫大卫, like my name is David, right? So 我叫大卫, 大卫 is not technically right. Technically technically it's not, does not have any meaning at all. Just use this character to represent a sound, right? Yeah, yeah, like KFC, like Kentucky, right? But in Chinese it's like 肯德基, right? Right. So KFC, like Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? But if you have to say like 肯 and 德 and 基 do not have any meaning at all. Okay, they just use this like pronunciation to represent imported words. A lot of brands actually do this, and it's pretty interesting, right? 我叫大卫肯德基. That's pretty weird. But yeah, let me just Kentucky Fried Chicken, something like that, right? So yeah. So 我叫大卫, right? It's like 我叫. Okay, let me just add the pinyin, right? Add the pronunciation to it, and I believe I already got this quick way of adding things. And by the way, I also developed an app that can quickly add things, but that become pretty easy to do on the phone. I think I built an app called it's just I built tons of things that I just use myself. Okay, so yeah, I don't know whether you folks can actually see it, but I'm going to show you anyway. So first, let me just add this pin here. Like 我叫大卫, right? So David 大卫. But yeah, let me just show you something like this. Okay. I don't know whether you folks can actually see it. Ultimate Chinese Bootcamp, Ping Helper, right? And then built by LiPai with love. Okay, so yeah, so basically you can so for example, like 大卫, okay? So if I put it here, it will automatically change it to Ping. It's just some like helper app that I wrote because I work as a developer before. So yeah, if something, whether it's a workflow or whether things that I'm going to use repeatedly, at least twice, I'm going to think of a way to write a program to streamline the process. It's not published, but I can streamline the process. So yeah, so 我 that means me, right? So this is like you can learn this together, right? 你 means you, right? 我 means me, right? So you just ask 你叫什么名字, right? So what's your name? 你 means you, called what name? You called what name, right? So what's your name? And then I answer by saying 我, right? 我 means me, 叫 means called, me called like 大卫 or LiPai or LiPai, right? I called David, like my name is David, right? So yeah, and a lot of language, in a lot of language, sometimes they omit like 你 or 我, but in Chinese, I think it's very important. If you also learn Japanese, you will feel that Japanese always like omit like watashi. This one means me, right? You, like anata, something like that. They often omit it together. Okay, if you add that every time, it will feel really weird. But in Chinese, it's very crucial to add this. Don't omit it. If you just omit like 你叫什么名字? Yeah, it can happen in casual conversation, right? Like you are looking directly at someone's face. 叫什么名字啊? But it kind of feel that you're like you're not taking the counterpart seriously, right? 叫什么名字啊? It's like you look down upon someone, right? So 叫什么名字啊? 你小子叫什么名字? Something like that. So it's like omitting some part, like something like that. Okay, if you're omitting that, you will not like respect the other party. It can sort of give this feeling. So 你叫什么名字? Maybe 您叫什么名字? Something like that. As I mentioned, you can just add a heart, 您, right, down below, right? So just add a little bit in sounds at 你. So it's 您叫什么名字? That can show more respect. Okay, so don't omit it unless you want to be really casual. Okay, or like you yeah, it's like yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay, you don't want to do that. But 我叫 like my name is 我叫LiPai. 我叫我的名字叫 yeah, it's kind of too much. Okay, let me think. Okay, so normally 你叫什么名字啊? 我叫 yeah, we don't usually omit 我. Okay, so it's pretty important to add it. Like 叫 if you omit it, it will be pretty weird, like you are so arrogant. 名字叫 it's like yeah. I don't think we can omit it in normal conversation. If you omit it, that would be really weird. So yeah, so I can say that while you want to be formal, yeah, you add 你 我, right? So yeah, if you think about it, functionally, you add this so other party know what you are referring to. 你叫什么名字? 我叫什么名字? Right? 你叫什么? 我叫什么? Right? That's it. Yeah, that's more formal and more adequate. Yeah. So what's your name? My name. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's already finish the first pages of the HSK, and then it comes to a very interesting one. Let's add a little bit of variation, okay? And the variation of the book say 你是老师吗? That's this is a really silly one, but I want to show you folks. 你叫什么名字? 你是, right? 你叫 and 你是 is a little bit different because it's pretty similar to English, like are you, like something like that. So 你是谁? 你是什么? Right? 你是老师吗? This is the text on the HSK book. But I'm going to add so much more because it may seem a little bit rude as well as weird to ask, especially if you like you're students. You ask, 你是老师吗? That's kind of like what? Are you a real teacher? Something like that. So but it's a pretty simple one, especially for the introduction level. Yeah, especially for the introduction level. Same goes for English as well as Japanese, because yeah, I think I'm stuck. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I think I stuck and it's not moving. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I will wait, but I will continue. So I think in Japanese, there's a concept called keigo, okay? That means the respected language, okay? And you don't want to burden yourself with this like a keigo, that like respected way, what's the most polite way of doing things, something like that. You don't want to burden yourself with all this, okay? The same goes, 你是老师吗? It may seem a little bit impolite, but I think at the beginning, it's okay, right? 你是老师吗? Yeah, it's 老师吗? And I think, weirdly, my head is not moving and I don't know what's going on. I'm going to change this a little bit. And why is not moving? So weird. Okay, I'm going to why my head is not moving? Is it because of the streaming or something like that? Okay, let me quickly fix it, because the streaming software can get a little bit finicky. Let's just, okay, sorry about that. I'm going to, maybe there's a bug of the software. Okay, this is the streaming software got some bug. If I develop it, it'll be perfect, but seems it got some bugs. And yeah, I'm going to restart this, so hopefully I'm going to unplug. Sure, first audio is fine. Okay, so I'm going to restart all this software, and hopefully it can. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, because I'm using like OBS bots. Yeah, I think it's OBS issue. Oh yeah, I'm back. So I'm using OBS, and I unplugged. This is like a little bit webcam called OBS bot. I unplug it and plug it again, and like I don't know, maybe it's a software issue, because it goes through the OBS box, like OBS bot center software, and they use that as a virtual camera as another source to the OBS streaming software, which is the software that I combine. There's a little bit like they got like a clip things, and yeah, I think it's maybe OBS issue, or maybe the OBS disconnected. Reconnection. Yeah, I think, yeah, I think it's OBS issue, because I just got disconnected. Yeah, so the internet connection is not good enough. Oh my gosh. Hopefully I can still reconnect, because the reason for using the streaming like platform as a intermediate thing is that I can get like reconnected after I get disconnected. Okay, I don't know whether I'm still online streaming because seems that I got disconnected. Okay, I don't know. Let me quickly check on my phone. Okay, can you still hear me? I'm still live or not? Because I think I just got disconnected, and let me quickly check what's going on. Yeah, I'm still live. That's good. Okay, that's good. So yeah, let me maybe just some fluctuation of the internet and yeah. So yeah, 你是老师吗? Yeah, as I just mentioned before, this is maybe a very polite way to say things. Yeah, but as I mentioned, you don't need to worry too much about whether you learn Chinese or learn Japanese. There's tons of like a keigo, like respective language and hierarchy system, especially if you learn Japanese. You got like if it's like a social hierarchy, if like the same hierarchical level, you're going to like just about like this. If like higher, right, some like if you're students, you got principal coming, you got about like this, right, and you got like a specific language to address someone, something like that. Like a lot of people like get like stressed out because they think, that's a lot, right? And they are so scared to open their mouth and actually speak to someone just because they think, maybe I'm being like unrespectful to other people. But my suggestion is that that's the reason why adults learn language slower, relatively, arguably slower than the than babies, because if babies say something that unpolite, right? The same goes for Korean, right? Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. Because you know what? If the baby say something that show disrespectful for the elderly or something like that, they would just laugh and say, "Well, this is cute." But adult, they would think completely different. Okay, so there are a lot of like a social awareness burden on adults. So that's the reason adults learn relatively slower, because they are afraid to open their mouths and actually talk without the consequences. Okay, but I think it's okay, because if you are foreign, especially if you're foreign in China, in Korea, or in Japan, they are pretty understandable. Okay, they're pretty chill about it, even though you might say something that seems outrageous as a local, but you're a foreigner, that's okay, as long as you can understand it, and you apologize. Okay, if they think, you shouldn't say that, you apologize, you just correct yourself. Learn like a baby. That's what I think. So this may not be like the best way to say things, right? 你是老师吗? Okay, let me quickly add this pinyin to it. So folks, if you just come here, you know how to pronounce. Okay, so let's just do this. 你是老师吗? Right? So 你是老师吗? Ma is not. Yeah, I think This is weird. 老师吗? Not 老师. Yeah. Okay, I just find some bug with this translation. That's like a 老师吗? Oh yeah, this should be no tongue at all. Okay, I have to do that manually. Oh my gosh. So I believe I can just convert that to pinyin tongue, and I can just input this. Yeah, it's not ma, right? So yeah, I just found another. Okay, why is getting? Okay, I don't know what's going on, but why is like zooming really close? Yeah, this must be something wrong with the obvious spot because I don't know what's going on and it's just become really close. I think I'm going to unplug and plug again because it's getting a little bit weird. Okay, let me just unplug this. Okay. Yeah. If you're 外国人, right? In Japanese, we call like gaijin, right? It's like a foreign person, right? In Chinese, we call that like 外国人 or 老外. You might think that 老外 is like directed way of saying things, but yeah, it's just they mean no harm. Just saying that you are a foreign person, and just like yeah, some people might think 老外 like a pretty weird way because they add a 老, right? But if you think about it, 老师 also add a 老. Adding 老 means that you show respect for, okay? So it's like, let me just 老, okay? I think 老, so third tongue, and I don't know why it's not adding the third tongue. Okay, this is a tons of issue, and I think a lot of 外国人老外, yeah, foreigner. So okay, so if you think about this, yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to actually introduce it because we just learned 老师, right? So 师 is like you must sing a lot of like a kung fu movie, right? So it's like the master, right? It's like a kung fu panda. There's a master called Master Wu Gui, right? They're like Shifu, something like that. So 师 means the master, right? So if you master something, and then you can become a 师傅, right? Or 师傅, okay? Yeah, I think both are okay. 师傅, this means that the master of certain trade, and 师傅, this is like more respectful because 父 means like 父亲, 父亲, right? It's like the father. It's like you are the master, you are the teacher, but also you are the father, right? So 父亲, right? So let me just add all this as well. But I have to use that with caution because I just find out this converter do not work 100% correct. I have to be careful. I have to like double check. Okay, don't trust AI or some tools unless you vet it. And I just vet it. Yeah, it's not 100% correct. 师傅, 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 师傅. Yeah, I think this may be a. Yeah, I think 师傅, 师傅, 师傅. Yeah, I think it's 轻声 rather than going down. Okay, let me double check it. Let me double check it. I think maybe this software is wrong again. I think the 师傅 is the second one is like 轻声 do not have the tongue at all. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this software is wrong again. So it's not this, but rather this. Unless you do that separately or you use the combination like 父亲, right? This is going down, but rather if it's 师傅, this is like the no tongue at all. Okay, so yeah, luckily my senses of of Chinese actually correct me this time. Yeah, 师傅, right? So it's like a 师傅, like master 师傅, master Wu Gui, something like that. It's like Kung Fu Panda. So it's like the master, right? Yeah, and I think because it's not an AI enabled software. I think it's just using like the specific character, using the frequency of the pronunciation, and just use that term. Okay, do not have the context value embedded into the software. So that's the reason I think the large language model is really brilliant when you learn a specific language, because it can add the context. Okay, you can, according to the context, basically, just think about this. It's just using the probability, right? The context actually changing the pronunciation probability, and they can refer, according to the context, infer the correct pronunciation. So that's the reason it use 师傅 rather than 师父. Okay, 父亲 only in 父亲 like a father, using the 父. Okay, so yeah. But if you think about this, 老师, right? 老师, we adding a 老 means that you are old. Literally means old. Okay, so old 师傅, 老师傅, right? That's like old master, but not technically old. Okay, not technically old. It's just adding a 老, like 老先生, like 老师, to like even like yeah, this is something interesting. 老司机. Okay, yeah, it do have some naughty meanings to it, but the original meaning is the 司机 means the driver, right? And 老司机 means that it's experienced driver, right? So you can sort of feel that adding 老 means that respectful, means that you're good, you're old, you're respectful, you are like look up to, something like that. Okay, means experience. So you can see that 外国人 and then using 老外 means that it's old, not technically old, but it's like 老师傅, 老司机, 老师, right? It's like a experienced or look up to the foreigner. Okay, so yeah, so that's a little bit explanations, and I want to explain, because if you come to China, a lot of people will like say, hey, 有个老外, right? That means that there's like a foreigner out there, but don't take it as something bad. They're not saying that they don't welcome you. They just say, well, it's like a 老师, right? 老外, adding a little bit 老 means respect. Okay, so yeah, 老司机, experienced driver, not yeah. You can say don't worry, right? 放心，我是老司机啦, right? So don't worry, I'm an experienced driver, right? So just rest assured, yeah. 老板, yeah, that's also another, right? 老板, right? So like the boss. 老板 literally means the boss. Okay? So yeah, if you think about this, 老板, the 板, it's like the plaque of wood or something like that. But if we add 老板, means that is old, respectable 拍板的人, right? So there's a拍板. Okay, I'm going to add all this pinyin using the converter, and hopefully it can give me the correct pinyin. If it do not give me a correct pinyin, I'm going to correct it manually myself. Okay, so don't trust AI. 老司机, 老板, 拍板. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so hopefully I can just copy and paste it here. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, so okay, so yeah, 老姑娘, I don't think that's a at least I don't think that, because maybe a little bit disrespectful, and can literally mean old. Okay, I think if you add like 老司机, 老板, right? That means that being respectful by saying that they're elderly, but like 老人, right? These old people, right? That may just get the literal meaning, like 老姑娘, pretty old lady, something like that. Yeah, I don't think that's got the inferred meaning, but just the literal meaning means old, like elderly. Okay, so yeah. But I'll be good to I'm going to explain this a little bit because 拍板 like 拍手, this is called 拍, right? Like 拍子, okay? So it's like if there's a fly, really annoying fly, okay? Oh, I know why it's got zoom in, because it's got controlled by the by my hand. I think I need to like using the hand gesture in order to zoom it out. Oh, I know it got a bug that I can only zoom it without zooming out. Oh my gosh, what's an annoying bug? So every time that's the reason why I say like 拍板, right? I just use the finger and automatically say, it's a thing that I wanted to zoom, and I can't zoom out. Oh my gosh, what an annoying bug. Okay, so I'm going to unplug this and plug this again. So every time I use this gesture, you got like automatic zoom in. So hopefully, so next time I'm not using my fingers, because like the AI will say, oh, I want to use gesture to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to adjust this later to shut down the AI functionality altogether, in case you got like an automatic zoom in and I can't zoom out. This is really annoying. It should be like when you zoom something like this, the gesture will like automatically zoom out. I tested when I first bought this, but it seemed like it's not going to work, and can misfire multiple times and without, especially, during the zoom, right? I don't think that's a good bug. It's a very bad bug, and not good to use 老姑娘. Don't use it. I think in a lot of cultures, calling lady like old is not good enough, right? Especially in the Asian culture. I think culturally speaking, they tend to avoid talking about death, about old, about something like that. But ironically, if you call someone like 老司机, 老板, something like that, 老外, this is show respect. So it's like a conflict of value, right? You call someone old but not old enough. To be nearly death, something like that. I'm not sure, but the culturally speaking, this is pretty complex things. It can't be explained but by just a few words and few things. Okay, so 老外, 外国人, right? So foreigner, right? 你是老师吗? Are you a teacher, right? Are you a teacher? You can answer this by saying I am a teacher or I'm not a teacher, right? So let me just again. 你是老师吗? And then you can say 我是 or 我不是, right? So 我 and then 我是老师, right? For me, I am a teacher, so 我是老师, right? 是的，我是老师. You can like say in English you can say like yes I am or no I'm not, right? So in Chinese you can actually do that. So basically it's like a conversation skill, like using the filler word and using the confirmation, right? 你是的, okay? That means 是的 means yes I am, right? 是的，我是老师, right? 是的，我是老师. I think that's a perfectly correct Chinese. 是的，我是老师. Or you can say no I'm not. 不是。你是老师吗？不是。No,不是。我不是老师. Okay. But it seems a little bit redundant, right? 不是，我不是老师. It's like you are so eager to say no, okay? Maybe you are hiding something sort of answer, right? 你是老师吗？不是，我不是老师. Like you are hiding something, okay? yeah. Thanks for support. Thanks for support. It's the first time of my stream, that a lot of people joined. Okay, thank you so much. Race is that 可盈 right? Yeah. Thanks for support. Thanks for. Oh, 你是外教. Oh, you are the foreign teacher. That's good. You're 外教. That's like foreign. Literally translate foreign teacher. Yeah. Thanks for support. Yeah. And thanks for subscribe. Okay. And yeah, 我是外教. Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to add this as well. 不是，我不是老师。是的，我是老师，或者是的，我是老师，我是外教. I think that's very good. Let me add a slash. Okay, can't add a slash. Okay, 我是老师，外教。外教 literally means the foreign teaching. Yeah, 教学. But yeah, using the 教 as the representation of the teacher. If you think about it, that's a very interesting. Basically, the teacher is for, the work as a profession to teach the students. So it's 教学生, right? So basically, I'm like saying I'm the foreigner that teach the students. Yeah, that's very, very interesting. That's very, very interesting. Foreign teacher. But it's not like 外教. It's not, if you think about it, this is really interesting. It's not 外老师, right? Or 老外师. It's not something like this. If you think about it, this is like something new for me as well. Okay? You use this 教学, right? This is 教学教室, right? 教学 is like teach other people to learn, right? 教, right? 教书人, right? But 教学 means teach other people to learn. 学 like 学生, right? 学生 sorry. 学生, right? So it's like teach other people to learn, and it's not 外老师, but rather 外 teach. Okay, so 外教. So yeah, that's a very, very interesting, using the act of teaching as a representation of teacher. Okay, that's something new. Yeah, if you think, yeah, does it ever happen to you? So when you look at specific words, specific letters, specific characters for a pretty long time, it become really, really unfamiliar to you, and you sort of find some hidden meanings that you did not think for a pretty long time, and you oh, what's going on here? Yeah, that's kind of a eureka moment that I just have right now. So yeah, 学生 means students, right? 生 it's like in Japanese we call it a seito. It's like student. Yeah, student. 学 means learn. Like literally means the learning student. Okay, learning student. So that's the student for you, right? Student, like learn. 学 is like 学校. Okay. 学校. Like learning school. So 学校 means learning school. That's school for you, right? 学生 learning student. So it's a student for you, right? So 学 means learn, right? So 外教 is like the foreign teaching as a representation of foreign teacher, right? And 老师 lao, that's like old 师傅 old master, right? So it's old 师傅 old master. That's the teacher for you. Okay, very, very interesting. We expand so much more. Okay, 是的，我是老师，我是外教，我是学生 right? I'm a student, I'm the foreign teacher, I'm the teacher. 不是，我不是老师 right? But I think they can be a more natural way of saying this. I think that's kind of the conversation skill, right? We want to keep the conversation going by adding value, but not just by answer exactly whatever the other party is asking, right? So 你是老师吗？不是，我不是老师。Right? This is not a constructive way of doing the conversation. Okay? I know this may be not on the realm of learning language, but I think the reason for learning language is by using this as a skill to better communicate. Okay? So I want to talk a little bit about communication skill because I am an introvert and have a very strong social anxiety for a pretty long time. Okay, I got like no friends at school because I'm just too scared of talking to everyone. Okay, and I later find out that the reason that I can't continue the conversation is that I answer the question too textbookly, right? Too good students answer questionly. Okay, I don't know how to say that in English. That's, don't treat everyday conversation as an interview, as a question that you have to answer, right? In order to keep the conversation going, you have to add more information to showcase the kindness. It's like when you meet someone, and you just show that you smile to represent I'm approachable, right? I'm a good person to talk to, and I really love to contribute more to the conversation. Okay, and yeah, so that's the reason when I like start teaching and start like, I am like a seemingly outgoing introvert. Okay, you can see me talk for a pretty long time. That's because I spend a lot of time like preparing materials and reading and inputs. But this conversation is like for a pretty long time the conversation is like a one-way conversation. Okay, and if you put me into a room with a lot of people, I can talk for hours for a presentation, but if you put me into a conversation, I may not be able to maintain the conversation. Okay, so that's the reason I like struggle for a pretty long time, and I realized that in order to be a like good talker, good friends, you need to contribute more to the conversation, but instead of just answering the question. Okay, let me just drink a little bit of water. So the same goes for here, right? If you got a question asked like 你是老师吗? Are you a teacher, right? Are you a teacher? And then you say 不是我不是老师 right? Or 是的我是老师 That's kind of like an interview question. Like you're answering a question, I don't know, at court, right? Asking by the judge, yes or no question, something like that, okay? You're not actually answering that high stress serious scenario, right? You need to contribute a little bit more. So here's another trick that I've learned is that while you're answering the question, always bring a little bit more information to the other party, saying that I'm willing to share information. Okay, I come good-hearted with open-minded. Okay, I really love to share information with you, even though because information is like do have value. It's like a personal thing. It's like you are sharing a little bit of information about you to keep the conversation going and say, hey, this is a piece of bread. This is a little bit, I don't know. This is a piece of good stuff that I just at my house. I share that little to you, right? So yeah, we can be friends. Okay. So instead of say 不是我不是老师, it's like 你是老师吗? You just say are you, and then you say you are not. I am not, and then 你是我不是老师 It's like you are not contributing anything to the conversation. You just using exactly the information that other people give to you, and you answer with the exact information, but with a little bit confirmation, or yeah, I do not confirm it, without adding a little bit to the conversation, right? You can, but we can like kill the one bird with kill two birds with one stone by learning the language, but also we learn a little bit about communication skill. Is that 不是我不是老师 you can say 不是 or if you want like a little bit soften this conversation by rather saying 不是 it's like no at the very beginning. You don't want to do that. You can say 不啊 or 我不是啊 right? You add a little bit at the end, say 我不是啊 like what something like that. So you sort of soften the tongue. Yeah, if you use this, it's a very typical textbook conversation. Okay, grammatically it's 100% correct, but it's just too textbook answer. Okay, 我不是啊 right? 我不是啊 and then remember you're going to contribute a little bit more information. 我不是啊你是老师吗我不是啊 and then you contribute by giving a piece of information about you. Say 我是学生 right? Something like that. Okay, so even though you're still using very simple language, 你是老师吗我不是啊 you don't need to repeat 我不是老师 Of course you can say that. 你是老师吗不是我不是老师你可以说我不是啊你是老师吗我不是啊我是学生 Then you adding a piece of information so other parties say oh you are students so we are students as well so we're still waiting for the teacher to come. Okay, and then you add a little bit of information. So you soften the tongue by not just repeat whatever other people say or just to say the negative thing at the very beginning, but rather say 我不是啊 right? So you soften the tongue and then you add a piece of more information to keep the conversation going by giving a little bit information about yourself. 我是学生 right? 我不是啊我是学生啊 You can even add the it's like a little bit thing that you can add to anything just to soften things. 我是学生啊我是学生呀我是学生呀我是学生呀我不是啊我是学生呀你是老师吗 No Instead just feel this difference, right? 你是老师吗不是我不是老师 And then other people will like say, okay, you are not the teacher, so why are you here? Maybe you are a student? 不是我不是老师 Maybe you are security? Maybe I don't know who you are. But if you say 你是老师吗我不是啊我是学生啊 And then you can give a big smile. So 不是啊我是学生啊 And then you can start conversation. 老师怎么还没来啊 Why the teacher is not here? Okay, 老师呢 you can even add 老师呢 or 你呢 right? So what about you, right? Where is the teacher? You sort of adding a little bit information about you and you adding a little bit question. Throw that to the other party. And it's a little bit conversation skill is because other people are obliged to answer because we are socialized animal. Okay? And the whole education system, the whole the social system, the hierarchy and all that is sort of embedded in everyone's mind. Okay, so it's also like a life hack for you. Okay, if you ask a question to anyone in the street, they feel obliged to answer because we human as a species is a socialized species. We feel obliged to answer questions. So in order to make the conversation going, you can just ask them a question, just ask. Because you already answer other people's question by doing other people a favor. The first thing, okay, I'm not going to do all this gesture because I don't want it to zoom in. And then you give a little bit piece of information about yourself to show that you are open, you are like, you come with no harm, okay? I share a piece of information about me, and then I give you another question, even better, okay? Like if you obviously the other party is a student, right? They ask you, 你是老师吗? Right? They ask you a question, and then you answer, okay, we are the same side, we're all both students, and 老师呢? Okay? So you sort of, it's like a trick. You sort of make other party as a part of your group, okay? Okay? So we are the same group, and we have a common goal of finding the teacher. So 老师呢? 你呢? So first, you ask a question and people oblige to answer, especially if you give it a piece of information about yourself. The second, you make it like the same group, okay? We're both students and we will find a teacher, right? So you can keep the conversation going. That's the thing I learned during all these years as an introvert, and it's a great hack. I know it may seem silly, may seem very simple, but just give it a little bit more piece of information, soften the tone, asking questions. Okay? Yeah, that's what I that's what I learned. So 你是老师吗? Yeah, 我不是啊，我是学生。老师您呢? Yeah. So hopefully I can quickly add all this pin to here. Let me quickly. 不是，我不是老师，你呢? Yeah, let me just add it here, so hopefully everything is correct. 不是，我不是老师，我不是啊。Yeah, 我不是啊，我不是啊，我是学生呀。Yeah, I find it. 我是学生呀 ，not 我是学生呀 ，right? 我是学生呀。老师呢？老师呢？老师呢？老师呢？老师呢 ？Yeah. This may be the first time, okay? 老师呢？哦，老师呢？ That is also going to pass. Yeah, 老师呢？你呢？ Yeah. So 呢 or 呢？轻声 right? It's like no tongue at all, or the first tongue. I think personally, as a native Chinese, I think that's both are okay. Okay? So yeah. 不是，我不是老师，我不是啊，我是学生呀。老师呢？你呢？来你是老师吗？我不是啊，我是学生呀。你呢？ Okay, this is a very natural way to start a conversation making friends. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of In the Classroom at HSK. We expand so much more. Yeah, that's brilliant. And I think we just finished with just 3, and then it's the end of this Cohen 4, right? Text 4, yeah, okay. Right, let's continue. One last conversation, and then it's the end of today's stream. Right? So the third one is in the school, right? 在学校，在学校，在 it's like in at 在 it's like at in certain places. Okay? 在学校，学校 means it's the school, right? It's the school for learning. So learning school. That literally means school. Yeah, you can actually see a lot of things that use the approximately the same, or oh my gosh, it's got zooming again. Okay, I can't zoom out. Oh my gosh, this is really silly bug. Yeah, but I really love to use my hand to explain things and just focus on my mouse. Okay, I'm going to unplug it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's do that again. At least I got like a reliable way to fix this problem without thinking too much about it. Okay, so let's continue. Don't let these things to interrupt with the progress. So 在学校, right? You can say 你是 it's more like a conversation that happen with a lot of foreign students. Okay? 你是中国人吗? Right? Are you Chinese? Okay? And then you can say 我不是中国人，我是 and then yeah, the different people, you from different country, okay? So in Chinese it's really really simple. It's not like in English, like America and American, and then like from like United Kingdom, it's not United Kingdom, it's not It's just I'm British. Okay, so it's like a completely different thing, especially from very different countries. Like, but in Chinese, it's so simple. Okay, you just use that country, and then you add 人. Okay, 人 literally means the people, right? The person, the people. Okay, so yeah, 在学校 at school. If it's an international school, right? A lot of students come from different countries, and then you can say, I'm not Chinese, 我不是中国人, right? That literally, 中国人, okay? Just using the country and use 人 at the end, people at the end, then you are saying that you're from that country, okay? So for example, if you are American, right? You just say 美国, okay? This is another thing. 国 means country, okay? 美 means beautiful. Oh my gosh. Beautiful country, America. America, beautiful country. Beautiful country. Okay? Just come on, think about this. Chinese even say the China as the middle country. Okay? Not the best country. Okay? But to say America as the beautiful country. Okay? So that's something very interesting. Hopefully can help you to memorize this. Okay? And then this is just America, not American. You know how to say that? Really simple, just add 人. Okay? And then you can say, for example, you're from New Zealand. Okay? And then, yeah, New Zealand, new, 新, that's new, 新, like 新旧, 新 means new. Zealand, yeah, I think it's a phonic representation, 新西兰. Okay? So land, land, yeah, I think it's the phonic, just for the pronunciation. The C do not have any meaning. If you have to look at the literal meaning, it's the west. But like New West land, New Zealand. Yeah, I don't think it's got like specific meaning, but just using the word pronunciation, okay, as the as a representation, okay. 新西兰, right? 我是新西兰人, then it's like you are the people from New Zealand, okay. Just use that country and adding a 人 at the end. Really simple. It's like just a no-brainer, okay. You say Indu, right? It's like India, okay. 印度人, okay, really simple. Japan, 日本, okay. Japan, Japanese, 日本人, okay. Don't need to remember the like some regular changes like English, when irregular changes or completely different thing like UK and British, something like that. You don't need to memorize all that. Just that specific country and adding 人 at the end. Really simple. Okay, that comes to the memorization of different country. Okay, so like 印度, 日本, 新西兰, like something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been to New Zealand once. Okay. How many months ago? I think it's 3 months. 3 months ago to New Zealand. I climbed the. It's not technically. It's not climbed the Mountain Cook. It's like a take the helicopter for the heli ride, heli hike. I think it's called heli hike to the Mountain Cook, and like the helicopter like to the like glacier, and then landing on glacier and doing a little bit of hiking, and yeah, it's a great fun, great country, and yeah, and I rent a car. I rent a car about like drive all the way to the Mountain Cook, I believe. The scenery is amazing, and it's really unique. Yeah, I think it's really unique. It's not. It's like even sometimes some part is even like the like you'll go through a safari in Africa, but then you suddenly you like go to like Iceland, like a mountain and glacier, and then you got like a really, yes, yes, it was great. It's amazing experience. I even like my wife fly the plane at Queensland, and also I got like play a little bit about like indoor skydiving, something like that. It's like a great fan at the bottom of the tube, like great tube. I got a great fan that can like you can actually fly it. Like 风扇, right? The big 风扇, right? There's a big fan that blow the wind, and then you can like mimic your like skydiving. I'm too scared of doing the skydiving, so I just got Queensland and like indoor skydiving. And my wife's brilliant. She even flying a plane with the coach side, and yeah, doing all this like plane all the way to some mountains and then go back. Yeah, yeah, it's a great and beautiful country. I definitely going to like next vacation get into New Zealand again, and yeah, it's brilliant. Especially if you drive the car and the road is pretty. Yeah, Queensland's road is like a lot of curve. 弯曲, right? 弯曲, it's like curved, or 蜿蜒. Like 蜿蜒, you can actually see it here. It's very interesting. 蜿蜒, you can sort of see this 虫字旁, right? 虫字旁 is like the worm at here, right? 虫, right? 虫子. Okay, this is like a bug or like a snake sort of thing. Okay, 虫子. So you can sort of see this snail sort of thing at the left side, both 蜿蜒. So that means that the road is like a snake that curve, especially at the mountain, right? So yeah, it's just very, very curved, and yeah, I love this, especially at the Queensland. Like everyone drives like really, really quick, and I'm get like a little bit scared, but it's yeah, insect. That's the word I'm trying to say. Yeah, and so yeah, 蜿蜒. This is very hard Chinese, I think. So it's like really curved road. 蜿蜒的道路，蜿蜒曲折，蜿蜒弯曲 right? 曲折，蜿蜒 yeah. The road is like a worm sort of thing, like a snake. Yeah, so but after that, a little bit the road then to the mountain cooks, the road just become like a really plain 平原 平原 后鼻音平原 sorry. So it's like really big plain roads like safari. And then far away is the mountain. Okay, and it's really enjoyable ride. Yeah, so pretty interesting. Yeah, so yeah, let's continue. Okay, 你是中国人吗？我不是中国人，我是美国人，我是新西兰人，我是印度人，我是日本人 right? Just add 人 at the end of that country, which is brilliant. Okay, so yeah, and I think that's all. And then it's a little bit about the grammar notes that we will quickly go through this, because I don't want to stress too much about grammar, because it's just not how my brain function. Okay, I don't think while learning the language, grammar is very important. You need to have a lot of inputs in order to get like a generalization of things, rather than learn the grammar at the very, very beginning and without proper inputs. But things it's the thing written on HSK, so I'll use that as a guideline, but I'm going to add so much more. Okay, so first it's an interrogative pronoun 什么, which we just discussed that, right? 什么 is like what. Okay, so The interrogative pronoun is used in the interrogative sentence, serving as the object by itself or together, with a nominal element following it. Okay, that's a lot of jargon. Yeah, and I think this just literally translated to what, and that is self-explanatory without all this jargon, right? Like, what is your name? Okay, 你叫什么 right? What is your name? 你叫什么？你叫什么呀？ I think 你叫什么 is like interrogation. Okay, I don't think that. I remember we can 你叫什么？你叫什么？你叫什么呀？你的名字是什么呀？ Right? It's more soft in the tongue. 你叫什么呀？你叫什么呀？你叫什么呀？ Yeah, don't stress at 什么 I think. 你叫什么呀？你叫什么呀？ Right? I think that's really, really hard, not soft. Okay? I think in order to make it soft, you can say 你叫什么名字呀？ Right? Okay? I think 你叫什么名字啊？你叫什么名字呀？Yeah. Adding a little bit, I think it makes it so much softer, so much friendly. 你叫什么名字呀？你叫什么名字呀？ Right? 小朋友，你叫什么名字啊？ You're as like even talk to the kid. Like, 你叫什么名字呀？你叫什么名字啊？你的名字是什么呀？ Right? 什么？ Okay, I think that's what. What is your name? 你叫什么名字啊？你叫什么名字？ Yeah, that's good. And then, of course, this is like a what. You can ask it, what is this? Okay? 这是什么？this, right? 这是什么？这是什么？这是什么？ Okay? Yeah, if you think about it, you can actually add R to a lot of things without thinking about too much, and you can soften the tongue. It's a great. 这是什么？这是什么？Instead of say 这是什么? It's like you are superior. You're asking someone something wrong. Like, you got some really dirty thing on the floor, right? And you were inspecting this, and you asking the person who work here, asking employee, say 这是什么? It's like you are asking them to explain things. Okay, don't do that. Okay, 这是什么? This is more friendly. 这是什么? 这是什么? It's like more friendly. Say, what is this? I don't know. Can you tell me what is this? 这是什么? 这是什么? 这是什么呀? 这是什么呀? Right? Yeah. 呀. 这是什么吗? 这是什么吗? Yeah. Don't use ma. There's a. Yeah, we don't do 这是什么吗? Yeah, don't do that. Just say 这是什么? 这是什么呀? Right? This is more natural way, more friendly way, more soft way. To say 这是什么? 这是什么? Okay, yeah, that's good. And then you can even ask for detail. Okay, so instead 这是什么 is like you don't know whatever this is. This is like some like foreign stuff, or maybe something that you don't know the name of. But you can even say, oh, I recognize this. Like this is a book. Okay, 书, right? This is a book. And then you can say, I know this is a book, but I don't know what is the book about. Okay, so 这是什么书啊？这是什么书? Yeah. At the textbook, HS textbook, you say 这是什么书? It's like a teacher asking a student who brings some, I don't know, maybe Playboy to the class, right? Say 这是什么书? Like interrogation, okay? And say something wrong with this student for bringing this unwanted book to the classroom, okay? I'm a nice person. I need to soften everything up. So, 这是什么书啊? Right? 这是什么书啊? Like you are interested, okay? So it's like someone is like reading a book, and you walk to that person and say, oh, 这是什么书啊? 你在读什么呀? 这是什么书啊? I think more natural way should be 你在读什么? 什么书啊 Okay, so still we use 什么 right? So sorry, 你在读什么书啊？这是什么书啊？ Right? I think this is a more softened and more natural way of saying things without like accusing someone. Like this is a book that you shouldn't read or shouldn't bring, but rather show genuine, curiosity about this book that you're reading, right? Like you're reading a manga or you're reading something that some novel that may be interesting, right? 这是什么书啊？ like you're curious. Oh, 这是什么书啊？你在读？你在读什么书啊？哎 That's like you show genuine curiosity, but without like accusing someone. Okay, 这是什么呀 Right? It's like what the heck is this? You bring this to class, something like that. Yes. Don't say that because it may exactly it may means that like naughty student bring some like unwanted thing to the classroom. Okay, but rather say 这是什么书啊？你在读什么书啊？ Right? So still 什么 here. Means that's what. Okay, what kind of book are you reading? Something like that. What's the name of that book? What's this book about? Okay, I think that's even though if you think about this, the in the textbook say the interrogative pronoun. That's got like some negative meaning to it, like interrogative. I didn't want it to be interrogative. So you said don't use that like in town, or things that like make other people think that this is not that you're accusing someone, something like that. Okay, so interrogative pronoun and 是 right? I think this is an easy one. Is 是 right? The 是 sentence right? 判断句是用于表达人或事物等于什么或者属于什么。I think that's just too much of a grammar. I think it's just a thing. This is or are or are not, something like that. That's self-explanatory. So 是 means yes, and you can make it negative by adding no before it. So 不是 that's no. 是 is yes. 是的吗？是的。Right? You can even add a 的 at the end. 是的。不是。不是 we usually don't add 的 at the end. 不是的。Like you are hiding something. 不是啊。不是 are. I think that's 是的 and 不是 are. Okay? Let me just tell you. 不是啊。不是啊。Yeah, so soften the tongue. 是的。不是 is like you are definitely no. 不是。Right? But 是的，不是啊，不是的。Usually I don't add personally I don't add 的，不是的。Yeah, 是的，不是啊。Yeah, that's more natural, at least for me. Okay, so yes and no. Okay, and and also you can use in combination like someone 我是老师 right? I am a teacher. 我不是老师 I'm not a teacher. Okay, so 我是美国人 I am American, right? 我是新西兰人 I am from New Zealander. Oh, okay, I don't know how to say that. Okay, but yeah, you got the meaning. So 我是我不是 right? I am not. Okay, yeah. So that's the 是. I don't think that's a really clear explanation because if you read book is a 式字句. Oh my gosh, it's got like a new concept. It's like a sentence with 是 in it. They call that 式字句，是由是构成的判断句，用于表达人或事物等于什么或者属于什么，其否定形式是在是前面加上否定副词部。Okay, I think this just introduce more concept in order to explain a simple concept. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good way to explain things because it will overcomplicate things, especially about introducing too much of the grammar at the very beginning. Yeah. So yeah, sentence determinative sentence which indicating someone's something equal or belong to negative sentence formed by adding a negative out of a, oh my gosh, in New Zealand or Kiwi. Yeah. So yeah. Finger crossed. I said it correct. Okay. I think we just lose the last one. Yeah, the last one is 妈的疑问句. Yeah, technically it's called like interrogative sentence with 妈。疑问助词吗？表示疑问语气，用在陈述句句尾构成的疑问句。Yeah, I think that's just too much. Okay, you just add 吗 to represent a question. Okay, as simple as that. Adding 吗 as a question. Okay, so if you ask 你叫什么名字呀？你叫什么名字啊？ Yeah, I don't think this is a very good way to add this. Let me just add another. Okay, 妈 at the end of the sentence saying this is a question. Okay, like 你是 Okay, so for example 你是新西兰人吗 Okay, so basically you can sort of force this as a question mark by without this, but this will be a too demanding and not trusting attitude. Like 你是新西兰人 Like something like this, you have to be drastic because if you don't add this ma at the end, it's not so-called interrogative sentence, right? It's not a interrogative mood, as jargon says. Okay, so you have to be more drastic. Like 你是新西兰人 So you have to like going up the tongue in order to say, hey, it's a sentence that I'm asking you interrogatively. Okay, but you can soften this by just adding, say, hey, 你是新西兰人吗 Right? 你是美国人吗 Right? So basically, you add this to indicate this is a question that I'm asking you, without drastic changes of the tongue of the mood. Say 你是新西兰人 Like something like that. You don't need to do that dramatic change. You just 你是新西兰人吗 Right? You can even go like a really flat tone, but if you add 吗 it's a pretty cool way to add a question. Right? 你是美国人吗你是中国人吗你是老师吗 Right? 你是老师吗 This is a very neutral way of saying things. If you don't add this, of course, you can do that. As I said, you can do a lot of things, play around with the tongue a lot. Like, 你是老师 right? 你是老师 It's like you don't trust other people, right? Like other people is pretend to be a teacher, but in fact it's just a student messing with you. Like 你是老师 I don't trust you, right? I don't trust you. 你是老师 I don't think so. I think you are students, right? You pretend to be our teacher, right? So don't do that. I think 你是老师吗 This is like a more normal way to asking a question, right? 你是学生吗 Right? Yeah, this is a more normal conversation. Okay, so yeah, and I think then it's a dialogue, a role play dialogue, and then to say some practice, some pronunciation, pinyin pronunciation. I already finished with all this pinyin in my previous recording, so I don't think I need to go through that. And then how to write. You know what? Don't worry about writing. Okay, don't worry about writing at the very beginning. I got same philosophy while teaching Chinese or teaching Japanese or teaching other things. Is you don't need to write. You just need to learn pinyin and learn how to type. At least when you first start this language, all the way to at least 1 or 2 years, you don't need to worry about writing, because if you got thumb, you use pinyin, and then you just distinguish this character and this character, and using the auto completion to get yourself familiar with the language, with the character, and expose yourself to this character, and then there will be no problem with the communication with all the writing skill, like you're writing email or writing an application or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Okay, you just need to know how to choose the correct one. That will be enough. And then after that, if you want to like learn calligraphy or want to learn like deeper, like what's the like original this like character is about. I want to draw things. I want to learn deeper. I want to learn the meanings, the story behind it. I think that's after like 2 or 3 years of your learning, and then you can dive a little bit into writing. So, you know what? I disagree. I disagree with the HSK curriculums about like introducing like 日月星, like 中, like at very beginning. Of course, you can learn that. You can learn the like order, like strokes of order things, but I don't think that's a correct opportunity. I think it's a great thing to learn and great fun to learn, but it's not a great opportunity at the very beginning because it can get very discouraging at the very beginning. I don't want, yeah, I don't think it's a great opportunity, great timing. Right? I self-learned Chinese living in China. Oh, you're already in China. That's brilliant. You like get yourself exposed to the language, like immerse yourself with that language. That's a brilliant way to learn a new language. Yeah, but even as a Lao Wai, we welcome, okay, welcome everyone. So it's a great fun, really convenient, and yeah, that's great. That's great. So let me think about that. Or the order pair application. Yeah, that's all. That's all for this koan, right? At HSK it's koan 3, but at my system it's koan 4, right? Because I add a lot of things while I introduce you folks. So yeah, yeah, I think that covers today's Building Public Ultimate Chinese Bootcamp. Okay, so yeah, I stream for how many hours? Oh my gosh, I stream for 2 hours. Normally I would just stream for 1 hour, but this is like today is the first time I use like Restream software to distribute in different platforms. Yeah, you learn Chinese so fast living in China. Yeah, you learn alien language so fast if you immerse yourself in the environment, because you sort of have to say that. Yeah, environment immersion. I think we human got the ability to learn alien language if you just immerse yourself, and you have to use it in order to survive. Come on, so you will pick things up really quickly. I learned a lot of things that I forgot really quickly. That's because I didn't use it, right? So for example, I learned a lot about like finance while I work as an investment banker. But you know what? After I quit the job and started my company, and you know what? I just forgot most of the like models that I built, and some of the finance theories, like economic functions, that I just completely forgot. But I could quickly pick it up, but I just forgot because I don't use it, and it's irrelevant for my everyday survival. But if you immerse yourself in that environment of a specific language, and you need to use that language to complete like a daily task, I think it's a great way to learn a language, and pretty fast way to learn language. Yeah, thanks. Thanks everyone, and it's been great fun, great great opportunity for me to share with you folks this, and thanks for the support. I'm having great fun with you folks, and this is the first time I can actually like chat with you folks. If you watch my previous stream, it's like just one man's talking, okay, all the way, and talking to myself like a crazy man, like a crazy person. So yeah, it's great. It's been great fun, and yeah, thanks for the subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, and also you can click my Udemy. I got multiple like programming as well as I made a lot of things like programming and gaming and game development. Like I teach Japanese, Chinese, yeah, all sort of thing. I'm a interesting person. Okay, so yeah, if you want to learn more, you can click my a lot of links. Okay, like social links and whatever. Okay, so it's been great fun, and I am going to eat something. Okay, I'm starving. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Quiz Therapy. Yeah, and yeah, thank you so much for the support. And yeah, I am going to. Yeah, thanks. So I'm going to stop the stream, and I'm going to grab something to eat. Okay, thanks for the support. Yeah, bye. Bye. 再见. See you.